Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed that little sequence there. I needed to put some sharp blades on my mower, so I thought I'd do a little bit of filming there. We're coming to an end quickly here on summer, and things have cooled down just a little bit here in central Iowa, which is nice. As I mentioned in a couple of my previous videos, we are in a drought here now, and it was near 100 degrees for about a week or so, which is very, very difficult on the grass. But now things have cooled down a little bit. We did get about an inch of rain a little over a week ago, and things are starting to recover now a little bit. Also, I was having an issue with a little bit of a fungus problem in my backyard. I think it was just from things being so humid this summer. I was watering, and I think it just got a little bit out of control. So no matter how much water I was putting down, I was still having some brown spots in my lawn and brown areas. So I have the luxury of being near Iowa State University, and they have a very good turf grass program there. So I talked a little bit with a professor, and he gave me a little bit of insight on what might be going on. He thought it was leaf spot. I used some of this product right here, and I put that on 2 weeks ago. And then I put on one more application just a couple days ago. It said to do 2 applications 14 days apart. And now you can see that things are recovering pretty well. There's still a few brown areas here or there, but he said that that most likely will recover once we get some cooler fall weather. So today I'm also going to give you an update on what's been going on with those fescue spots that I sprayed. We're going to do a little bit of mowing and see what else we can come up with. One other thing that I forgot to talk about with that fungus is it's probably a good idea to bag your clippings if you're having an issue like this. This can be spread around just by your mower, so it's a good idea to just bag those clippings for the time being until we get to a point where you can see a full recovery. Alright, so the mowing part is done and the recovery is looking okay, but it's not quite exactly where I would like it to be right now. I have 4 different varieties of bluegrass in my backyard, and had I been able to choose these exactly when I did my renovation in my backyard, it was chosen by a lawn care company because I just really didn't know exactly what I wanted at the time. I probably would have looked a little bit harder on putting the right varieties together. What I mean by that is I have a couple varieties that are more of a compact type, meaning that they don't grow all that tall, they kind of spread out more and stay closer to the ground. And when you're cutting at over 3 inches, those grasses just don't really come up that high, and you don't necessarily get as much of a cut on those. I have another variety that seems like it just grows like crazy, like it could be 5 inches long in about 3 days. So those things don't really go together very well. That kind of frustrates me a little bit, because if you look at this first picture here, you see a lot of top growth and it's really green and looking nice, and that's the grass that grows really, really tall. But then when we cut that off and you see the after results here, then you can see that more of that brown is coming out because more of those compact types are down in there, and they seem to be the ones that are having some issues with that brown and leaf spot and whatever fungus is going on down in there. So if you are doing some renovation, keep that in mind, that if you can pick something that really goes together well, or maybe you want to think about just a monoculture, which is just one type of variety of bluegrass or whatever you're going to put in, then you're going to have a much more even, uniform look. And that's something that I'm thinking about. Should I do a renovation on my front yard and side yard where I completely kill off everything? That I really want to think about the type of grass that I put in there and whether or not I want to do a mix or whether I want to keep one variety. And this is really the frustrating thing sometimes with lawn care for me, is just that one week you really think your lawn can be looking really, really good, and it does. Then the next week you look at it and think, wow, what happened in just a week's time? That's really the hard part about really being super into lawn care, is that sometimes it can be frustrating, and if you're a perfectionist person like I am, you just expect that everything is going to be perfect all the time, and you have to really learn that it's not. Let's take a look at that fescue that I was working on spraying in last week's video and see if we see any results there from the glyphosate. Alright, so I know it's difficult to see there between what's dormant and what I sprayed, but it is really starting to work now, and you can kind of see the things that I sprayed are really starting to dry out and look like they're dying. So I think here in probably another week or so, I'll be able to tell like the full extent of how it worked. And I need to do some mowing over there, but it said to wait 7 days prior to spraying and 7 days after you spray before you mow again. So I'm going to wait on that. Hopefully by next week we'll be able to tell kind of what things are going to look like and how much it actually worked on the areas that I sprayed. So I want to thank you guys again very much for joining me for these videos, for leaving some comments and really watching throughout the season. I do really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you again for joining me, and we will see you next time.